Hey, what's going on, man? We got a brand new episode of the Foul Pole to Foul Pole Daily Show. I'm your host, Coach Tyler from Black Diamond Softball and Fitness, and today I want to get into high school softball tryouts. But before I do want to remind you about our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/@foulpole to foulpole. We are quickly approaching 600 subscribers, so I appreciate the ones that have already jumped over there and subscribed. If you haven't yet, please do so. We got a lot of highlight videos. We break down a lot of different drills. We talk about the game at the next level, and we have our video version of our podcast. So if you wanted to see what our guests look like, if you wanted to see what the studio looked like, if you wanted to see what I look like, go over there and check that out. A lot of cool stuff. It's youtube.com/@foulpole to foulpole. So go check that out. Today, like I said, I wanted to get into high school softball and the tryouts throughout the country right now. A lot of states play their softball during the spring when it comes to high school sports. And just like here in South Carolina, there's a lot of places that are doing their tryouts. And what's cool about South Carolina in some ways is the middle schoolers don't have a sort of like a softball league, or they don't play softball for their middle school. They're eligible to play for their high school. They still have 6 years of eligibility in the game of softball when it comes to playing in high school. So as a 7th grader, you can make your varsity team. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of unique. I don't know too many states that do that, but anyway, we have tryouts going on right now, and there's a lot of girls that are, seeing that it's not as easy as they thought, or it's way easier than they thought to make the team. Because the high school ball is way different. It's its own animal. It's its own beast. It's just different. So as you're going through these tryouts, think about a couple things. There's only 2 things in life that you can control, and that's your attitude and effort. And that goes big in trying to make a team. You're going to have your errors. You're going to have your strikeouts. You're going to have your mistakes and stuff like that. But control how it affects you. When it's all said and done and you're away by yourself from everybody, maybe you're at home, then you can get mad at it and just be like, I can't believe I did that. But in that moment, you got to just move on from it, because you don't want it to sort of snowball and affect the rest of your tryout. One thing that'll help you, and one thing that it will show, is after you make a mistake, how do you respond to that mistake? Is that coach going to have to worry about having you the rest of the game? If you let a ball go between your legs there in the first inning, are you shutting down for the rest of the game? Is he going to have to pull you? Is she going to have to say, hey, you know what? I got to replace you out there. You're just not there mentally. So think about your coaches. Is he or she going to be able to count on you when it matters the most? So go through, do your thing, go all out. Don't be afraid to mess up. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. And if you do, use that as an opportunity to show how you bounce back, to show how you overcome adversity. It's just like at the college level. When you go to these camps, or you're at a showcase event with, coaches are there and you're showcasing your talents, trying to make an impression, maybe get an offer or whatever. Coaches don't just go there to see how good you can play. They know you can play the game. Chances are, if they're watching you, they understand what level of play is out there and what's going on. So if you do make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. This is an opportunity for you to kind of show your personality, show, what you have inside. If you make a diving play and you get a girl out, that's awesome. That's amazing. But if you strike out, you also get to show how you can overcome that. Overcoming adversity is huge. Personalities, how you are in the dugout, plays a big role. And if coaches make a decision to put you on their team, it doesn't matter if you're talking about making a college roster or making a high school roster. Coaches need to see what type of dynamic the team is going to have, and if you fit into it. You could be an awesome ball player, make all the plays, but when you do have a mess up, man, and you shut down, that's not good. If you have, if you impact the team in a negative way, and people are walking around on eggshells around you, that's not good. Everybody's had that experience where they've had that teammate that is just difficult to deal with. Like, oh Lord, if she ever messes up, she's going to be mean to all of us. And no one wants to play with that kind of teammate. no one wants to be around that type of person. And on top of all that, you have these kids that thinking that they should be on that varsity team, or they should have made that JV team, or they should have made that freshman team or that B team or whatever, and it just doesn't go the way they thought. And the crazy thing is, you don't get to control where you don't, because you can have the absolute best tryout that's out there, and for whatever reason, your coach, he or she doesn't feel that you should be on varsity, so they put you on that JV team, or they don't think you should be on JV, so they put you on that freshman team. So regardless, go get your reps in. Go be the best teammate you could possibly be. Coach Mandy from NSR had an incredible point and talking about it. At the end of the day, you go out there and you get your reps in. You can't control everything in life. Again, it's just attitude and effort. So don't have an attitude because you didn't make the varsity squad and just quit playing the game because you got to go play JV. No, go get your reps in. Go continue to develop. That's what it's all about. Yeah, we all want to win. Yeah, we all hate, when we lose. But there's a bigger picture to it. There's an ultimate goal for you, whether it's to play at the next level in college, or if it's to continue to play the game that you love, if it's to use softball as an outlet. There's so many different things that's going on in this. So when you're out there and you're doing your thing, go give your all, go play to the best of your ability, and understand that ultimately softball is a game of failure. It is a game that you have to continue to evolve, and it also helps you as a person. And it's tough on the mentality. Trust me, I get it. It's tough, man. If you're out there and you're battling day in and day out, and you have a crappy day, you maybe get a bad grade on a test score, or you forget your lunch at home, and now you got to go try to play softball, and you're just not in the mood for it, and then that kind of just rolls over into having a crappy practice or whatever. Hey, we're humans. It happens. But don't let it snowball. Just nip it in the bud right there and be like, hey, you know what? Need somebody to pick me up here. I'm struggling a little bit. I'm trying my hardest here, but it's just not going my way today. And everybody, we're all humans. We all deal with it. We're all going to have crappy days. But at the end of the day, the sun comes up tomorrow. And anytime we deal with adversity, it gives us an opportunity to test our inner strength, to test our resolve, and to overcome this type of stuff. And that's what builds character. And at the end of the day, man, when it's all said and done, character is what matters. Not the wins, not the losses, not the accolades. Your character is what's going to be remembered. No one's going to remember that you won a medal back in 9th or 10th grade. Maybe you will. But your teammates, your teachers, your classmates, they're the ones that's going to remember you and your character. So even if we mess up, use it as an opportunity to show the type of person you are. And when somebody else messes up around you, be there to pick them up. The last thing they want is just someone to shun them, or to not talk to them, or to ignore them because they made a mistake. So think about it. Put yourself in those shoes. How would you like it if that's the way they treated you? All right, so that's going to wrap it up for this one. I do appreciate you checking out the Foul Pole Daily shows. We are just about a week and a half away from the college softball season. A lot of teams are getting going about the middle of February. So it's going to be an exciting year. Can Oklahoma win another championship? Coming off of a three-peat. They're reloaded. We've got Jordy Ball going to Nebraska, probably the biggest transfer from the transfer portal. If you guys haven't checked out the Chloe Evans episode, had a really good talk with her. That episode went out this week. I think it went out Monday or Tuesday of this week. So that's a really good episode. She transfers from Minnesota to Central Florida last year, has an incredible year. We talked about the dynamic that's on there at Central Florida and kind of the team to make up this year. They got 11 seniors. So like she said, they're a little bit older roster than what you see across the board throughout the country. So that's, they're able to lean on some of that senior leadership. I think she said they're returning most, if not all, of their starters from a year ago. So there's a lot. They're anticipating a big year. She's really ramped up and geared up for it. So it's a really cool story that she shares about the transfer portal and just playing in the game, playing these big moments. Last year, she had 2 massive walk-offs. I think one was against rival South Florida, and then another was against Boise State. So she had some big walk-offs. She talked about having conversations with fans while she's in the outfield, warming up or between innings or whatever, between pitches, and she can actually hear and talk to people that are out there in the outfield. So it's really cool. Great episode. So go check that out. Again, if you haven't checked out our YouTube channel, it's really cool too. There's a lot of cool highlights and just different videos breaking down different stuff, reacting to different things. So one cool thing that we're going to do later on this year, actually just here shortly, is when the softball season gets going, I'm going to pick a game a week and sort of break it down and kind of do like a game of the week, if you will. Just a short video, nothing crazy, but talk about some of the bigger games, some of the bigger matchups. So we'll put those out. Try to do one a couple a week, just depending on the schedule and how that goes and how the response is, sort of getting everybody's reactions to that. I'm going to be paying attention to the comments and really paying attention to those videos and see if it's going to work out. So anyway, looking forward to it. And we will be back tomorrow with our brand new episode. If you know somebody that likes this type of stuff, they like talking softball, they like softball podcasts, please share it with them. If you share it with a friend, be sure you tell them you love them.